Hi, Mike and Arlen, our Philippine journey. You know what? I'm breaking one of the cardinal rules of YouTube. Unless you're a channel that specifically addresses these types of things, there are a few items or topics that should never be discussed in a general YouTube or entertainment area. And politics is one of those. We stay away from politics. We stay away from religion. Okay. We actually delete comments. But that's not what this is about. What this is about is you and China. What do you think? How do you feel about China as an expat, as someone that might become an expat here in the Philippines? And then finally, as a tourist, how do you feel about that? Does it have an impact on you? Well, we're going to tell you how we feel about it. And then we're going to listen to your comments. And we might make a follow up based on your comments. This is a generalization, number one. Number two, it's a personal opinion. Okay? We could be one of a half a dozen different directions, but it is a generalization. We want to keep you in mind of that, or keep that in mind if you would. And we would really like to know your opinion. So let's talk about it.
I never got it, why'd you have to go? I guess this world's too slow for you. I think there's beauty in the gray, the cold, but you just want the gold. And there's no way I can beat it, cause I got no chance, no chance when it comes to her. She got the glitter and the fame, and I just wasn't enough.
Okay, as we said, it's a generalization, but we would like to know how the events that are taking place with China impact you as an expat. All right, let's take a look at a couple of things. First off, let's look at two particular points. Number one, there's the issue between China and Taiwan. Number two, there's the issue of the West Philippine Sea, and specifically the 9-line and the 10-line. Okay? How does this impact you? Are you aware of it? Do you follow it? And what do you think about it? I think that these are topics that, while we don't want to talk about them, we don't, YouTube channels, we love all YouTube channels love to blow beautiful rainbows and unicorns up your ass. And I think you guys have figured out, something? We just tell you what our life is like. Now, it's generally very good, so there's a lot of rainbows and unicorns, I guess. But this is something that's a little different. So, when it comes to China and Taiwan, I've got no answers or feelings about that. I believe there's a brouhaha there for sure, and I believe it has an impact. But I don't know to what extent or how. I do worry about the semiconductor industry because Taiwan represents such a significant portion of the very high-end manufacturing process of semiconductors, all right, specifically chips. Other than that, we don't live there. It's 1,000+ miles away. It is something that we just have no control over. But the West Philippine Sea. Now, you've seen all the news, and if you haven't, you should. Okay? The China has pretty much declared, and for years now, that the entire South China Sea, West China Sea, whatever they call it, all right, including everything that countries abide by for their EEZ, their economic zone, all right, where they have rights, belongs to China. They've militarized, they've made man-made islands, they've militarized them, and they have an entire fleet of literally 1,000 Coast Guard ships. Now, they call them their Coast Guard, but they're fishing ships, all right? Now, are they armed? I don't think so. I think they might have maybe a small gun on them, but they're not armed. But they swarm the entire area. For the past couple of years, they've made their presence very well known. And when I say well known, what I'm talking about is that they're all over the place. They harass Filipino fishermen, and they are decimating portions of the seabed, of the ecosystem in the West Philippine Sea. Now, with that being said, the United States and the Philippines signed a mutual defense agreement in 1951, which would be not so great or long news. And quite frankly, there was a lot of animosity during the Obama years and prior to the Obama years towards the American military here in the Philippines, because justifiably, we were not the nicest people to the Philippines. Okay? We've got a rugged past. You can research it if you want. I'm not going to go into it here. But in 1951, we signed this treaty. Well, what was interesting is in 2022, we signed an amendment to that treaty. And that wasn't what a lot of people thought was going to happen. We thought they were going to water down that treaty. But that's not what happened. In fact, they left most of it standing and then enhanced parts of it. And one of the most important parts that they enhanced is they specifically included the Philippine Coast Guard. Now, here in fast forward 2023, and you have the new agreements for the sharing of bases. A lot of misconceptions with this. The Americans, we're not building Philippine bases, bases in the Philippines. We are sharing. They are allowing us to share. And we are going to, stockpile relief supplies, other kinds of supplies. Maybe even some personnel will be rotating through there. We've yet to see exactly how this will all work out. There were originally 7, it went to 9, and now they're talking about adding a couple of more. And this is kind of like where the Americans are building an outpost inside or an area of responsibility inside a existing Filipino base or a new Filipino base, like they're doing in northern Luzon. Now, are we concerned as expats? Are you concerned as expats? Are you concerned as a possible tourist? Are you concerned as someone that's looking to come and retire here? Here's our opinion on it. We're not. I'm not in the least bit concerned. Okay? And I'll tell you why. It has nothing to do with the defense treaty. It has nothing to do with the enhanced bases. I think that's really a big chunk of that is staging for Taiwan. All right? The West Philippine Sea and that section of water in between the northern tip of the Philippines and Taiwan, Japan, that whole entire area, that's a trade route. And to shut that trade route down, absolutely cripples China. China is not going to want that route shut down. Their current strategy seems to be, we'll occupy everything we can so that we'll keep it open, so that nobody can shut it down. And I believe that the American strategy is we're going to make sure it stays open for international trade, because a lot of trade to Vietnam, to Cambodia, India, China, Japan, all passes through there. That's where all these tankers go. And there are, of course, energy, go oil, natural gas, the whole 9 yards. It all goes through there. I don't think that China is going to jeopardize that. I do believe China is going to try and find a way to make sure that the United States doesn't use it as a chokehold against them. But I don't think anybody's going to go and have military escalation on it. But we want to know what your thoughts are. Does it concern you? Is it something that would impact your thoughts of coming here, or planning to come here? Or maybe you're even leaving because of it. We want to know. So in the comments below, please let us know. Secondarily, please also subscribe, hit that thumbs up. Really helps us a lot. And finally, more than anything, we hope you have a great, safe day. Take care.